Hey Commodores fans, welcome into the second matchup in as many days against the Wareham Gatemen. David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. Danny, let's talk about the win last night, 3-1 against the first place team in the West. Pitching was outstanding.
Yeah, it was really impressive victory for the Commodores. Now make it back-to-back wins in this last stretch where they beat Hyannis 2-0. Yeah. Very impressive, very clean game, no errors. And then last night, another very clean game. The pitching was phenomenal, won 3-1 over a Gateman squad, which they're so good offensively. Right. To limit them to only one run and to no RBIs, I mean, the one run they scored was on an error. That's pretty good stuff. Caleb Worcester was fantastic out of the bullpen. He got the win, he deserved it. He really locked things down for the Commodores. Unfortunately, they won't have his arm today, but they've got plenty of other guys to go to, try to lock down this Wareham team a second time in a row.
And you hit on something there about how successful Wareham has been. I want to hit on that a little bit more because they're still first in the West Division at 17-13-1, and they're so good offensively.
Yeah. I mean, this team, we went through it yesterday, but it bears repeating. They've got 7 guys hitting over 300. Their team batting average went up last night. Despite losing 3-1, they had 11 hits, just couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. They've got a ton of guys with a dozen RBIs or more. It's really astonishing to see a team like this year after year put up such offensive numbers. Yeah. But hey, we saw it last year from the team. That's why they won the Cape League Championship. Right. We're seeing it this year. That's why they're leading the Western Division. Falmouth, lucky to get 2 wins against them so far, but hey, anything can happen. This team has really good pitching, so we'll see who comes out on top a third time.
One Falmouth Commodore who knows something about this Wareham squad is Jackson Coots. He was actually playing in Spillane last year for not Jerry Weinstein's squad, but Don Snedden's. He got a championship last year with Wareham, and Katie Florio is interviewing him before the game to talk about what it's like playing for both teams. Katie. Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie and Jackson. You heard about their offensive approach, and now we look at that pitching matchup, which right now does not favor the Commodores.
Boy, yeah, I mean, they could be throwing anybody on the mound, but the way Ian Bedell has been, he's the starter for Wareham, unreal. This guy with a sub-1 ERA on the summer, lock in for an all-star. I mean, he is going to be the all-star starter for the West. That's how good this guy is. Ian Bedell by far has impressed the most teams. We haven't seen him yet 2 games through against Wareham, but it's gonna be dicey against him, and he's going up against Justin Robleski, who has pretty much the opposite stats. He's only been a reliever so far in the summer. This will be his first start. He's got a 10.60 ERA and a 1-1 record, so he's looking for a really good outing just to help out his stats a little bit and to put this team in a situation to win. And things get even tougher when you look at the lineup, the fact that their best hitter isn't in it today.
Yeah, Zach DeLoach will be getting a day of rest. Ian Bedell has only given up earned runs in 1 of his outings. Justin Robleski's given up 6 earned runs his last 2 times on the mound in relief. We'll see how it goes for the Commodores tonight against the Wareham Gatemen, trying to get win number 3 against their rivals from across the bridge. For Danny LaRose and Katie Florio, I'm David Korzanowski saying so long, and see you with first pitch from Spillane in just a minute.
6:45 the time here at Spillane Field as Ian Bedell fires a second pitch ball to Blake Dunn. He's batting second tonight. Hayden Cantrell started things off with a flyout to center field on just 2 pitches. Ian Bedell second in the Cape League in ERA as this one's grounded over towards third base, and it's eaten up on Blake Sems. Benjamin Sems, this shortstop, took a sharp hop off of the gravel dirt here at Spillane, and Blake Dunn is aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, skipped up to possibly the worst possible place, right near that armpit on the gloved side. There's not really much you can do. You can't even block it with your chest. Dunn easily going to take first on that one. Could have been safe as well, even if he kept it in front of him.
Dunn had a great night last night, had a leadoff double in the 4th inning, came around to score the first run of the game. Ian Bedell now working from the stretch. The righty from Missouri fires a ball inside to Trey Cruz. Bedell with a 3-0 record, a .7 ERA in 25 and 2/3 innings of work. Just 3 walks on the summer to 28 strikeouts. Ground ball foul, 1-1 to Cruz.
Yeah, he's starting the All-Star game for a reason. He's just ridiculous.
He has been outstanding, as I mentioned, second in the Cape League in ERA behind Falmouth's Franco Aleman, who's at a perfect 0. The 1-1 to Cruz. Fastball right down the middle. Calling balls and strikes tonight is Chris Kane. Alan Liberdoni is the first base ump. Mark Piantadosi is the ump at third. Commodores wearing their road blacks as a flash of lightning comes across the sky, and another ball to Trey Cruz makes it 2-2.
Rain is definitely
rain's coming.
The one thing on everybody's minds right now.
It's feeling extremely humid right now. Big storm coming through Boston as Trey Cruz fouls one into the parking lot behind. We'll walk you through the Falmouth batting order. Hayden Cantrell led off, playing second. Blake Dunn, center field, batting second. Trey Cruz, who's up at the plate now, moving one spot up from his traditional cleanup spot. On deck is Taylor Smith as this one's poked into center field for a base hit. Trey Cruz is aboard and now 2 on with 1 out in the top of the first.
How about that? Always seems like Falmouth is pretty good offensively whenever it's a rain-shortened game. We know that the last rainout we had was stopped in the second inning with Falmouth leading 7-2, and already they're getting to Ian Bedell with 2 runners on and less than 2 outs. That's very rare against a guy like Bedell, who, like we say, just puts down other teams like it's nobody's business.
Taylor Smith, the cleanup man, up now. He's catching tonight. Baron Radcliffe playing right field, batting 5th. Troy Clonch DHing, batting 6th. Final 3 in the order: Jackson Coots, Austin Maisel, and Kevin Kendall. Strike 1 to Taylor Smith, who has a .211 average this summer with 1 double and 5 home runs. He had a single last night, which is the exception and not the norm for this power hitter.
Yeah.
Bedell looks back to second, kicks and delivers high and away, 1-1.
It's been a couple games since Taylor's gotten a home run, too. It's been about, 3 games, I think, and typically he gets, 1 or 2 in the span of 3 games, goes off for a while, and then gets back onto the grind.
Bedell fires that fastball on the outside black for a strike, 1-2 the count. Smith's last home run was in that beatdown of the Chatham Anglers. 15-6 was the score out at Veterans Field about a week ago. Last time the Commodores came to Spillane Field, it was June 22nd. That game was called in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-2. Skips in the dirt. Dunn and Cruz will move to third and second, respectively. 2 runners in scoring position here in the first frame.
That's great. That takes the double play out of order. Smith being a catcher, not with lightning fast speed, so a ground ball could definitely have ended the inning. But now ground ball, if the infield is back, if Dunn gets a good jump, could potentially score an early run. So all Smith has to do is just put the ball in play.
Commodores had a rainout on Friday night against Bourne. They were up 7-2 in the second inning. They had a string of 5 rainouts in a row in June. Had a good stretch to start off July, but rain threatening here again in this third matchup of the year between Wareham and Falmouth. Smith pokes one foul to stay alive, 2-2. Commodores and the Gatemen playing last night at Gov Fuller Field. It was a great game, a 3-1 win for Falmouth. Second straight game in which the Commodores did not allow an earned run. The 2-2 from Bedell. Off speed, swinging to miss, strike 3. Beautiful pitch from Ian Bedell, his 29th strikeout of the year and first of the night.
Smith is one of those Mark Reynolds or Adam Dunn types where it's pretty much all or nothing for him. He now has 13 strikeouts in his last 24 at-bats. But again, that home run count is so high, it seems like whenever he's making contact, he's sending it a ways. But just a matter of actually getting bat to ball.
Baron Radcliffe steps in, batting 5th tonight. That's the highest he's been in the batting order in quite some time. He watches a fastball down the middle for strike 1. 224 average for the right fielder from Georgia Tech. 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and all of those coming lately. 6 for his last 17 That's over a .330 average in his last about 20 at-bats, and this will be hit number 7. Blake Dunn comes in to score. Trey Cruz is rounding. He'll tap home plate without a throw from Atsuka out in right field. And Barron Radcliffe has another couple RBIs. It's 2-0.
He continues to just get guys in like no problem. I mean, every time he's coming up to the plate with runners on base, he is the guy. And that is so radically different from what we were seeing in June, even into early July. Radcliffe was struggling mightily with guys on the base paths. We saw him come up to the plate with bases loaded a couple times in late June, nothing doing. But lately, he has been red hot as, again, like you said, RBIs day after day after day for him.
Foul tipped into the mitt to start off the count to Troy Claunch, designated hitting tonight. Claunch out of the lineup last night, the catcher from Oregon State. Will be just taking ABs tonight. Bedell's given up 2 earned runs already here in the first inning. Actually don't know how that was scored on that play at short. I'm assuming it was an error.
Error, so one earned run against Bedell.
Still more than he usually gives up.
Yeah.
Bedell's only given up earned runs in 1 of his outings. It was 2 in a 5-inning win against Orleans. Late swing from Claunch. He's behind 1-2.
And I like Falmouth's approach, the fact that they're just swinging early. And you've only seen Smith strike out, but those were on some great pitches from Bedell. Otherwise, these Commodore hitters aren't giving him the chance to get those strikeouts. They're not really falling behind too much because they're swinging early and often. He throws a lot of strikes. You might as well.
The 1-2. Up the middle, backhanded by Baker. Can he get it to second in time? No. Underhanded it to the shortstop, Benjamin Sems, but Radcliffe slides in safely, and Troy Claunch is aboard with a 2-out hit.
That was a weird one. I mean, not only did Baker kind of fall over after he fielded it on the backhand behind second base, but then Sems covering kind of tripped over the bag and couldn't squeeze the baseball with Radcliffe storming in. So a very sloppy play up the middle on a pretty difficult hit ball, and Troy Claunch will take it. He's on base, and now Coots with a big opportunity.
Jackson Coots, a 2018 Wareham Gateman, will try to keep this inning alive. 2-0 the score in favor of Falmouth. Top of the first. Hard hit over towards first base, snagged by Jacob Teeter. He'll tap the bag and flip it onto the mound as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Barron Radcliffe with a 2 RBI single to put the Doors up 2-0. We head to the bottom of the first here at Wareham. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more. The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
We're back in the bottom of the first inning, and when I say back, I mean kind of. Right before the final pitch from Austin Langworthy to Taylor Smith, there was a flash of lightning, and home plate umpire Chris Kane immediately waved his arms, called in the 2 other umps, and we are in a 30-minute lightning delay.
As expected.
As expected. It was tough to get into the game when it felt like both teams knew how this would end.
Yeah, clearly Ian Bedell was bit by that, and
Right.
Falmouth kind of took advantage of it, but seems like their 2 runs and several hits in the first inning will go down for naught as long as this huge storm cloud to our left is about to roll in.
Fans already heading for the exits. Blake Dunn got the inning going after a flyout from Hayden Cantrell, reaching on an error, followed by a single from Trey Cruz. Taylor Smith struck out, but Barron Radcliffe drove them both home with a single into right center. 2-0 Doors, but probably not going to stand, as my partner mentioned. And
Are they going to do a triple header on Friday now?
so if you've been following along, this is Wareham week. Commodores and Gatemen played their first game of the week last night, 3-1. And then the rain today, but a doubleheader back here on Friday at Spillane Field.
Because of a previous rainout. We mentioned the last time we were at Spillane, started pouring rain and started hailing in the middle of the game. So let's hope that doesn't happen, but I'm not holding my breath. This looks pretty bad.
So for now, we are going to stop our live stream. Stay tuned to our social media, at Fal Commodores on Instagram and Twitter. If by some miracle this game is played, we will have updates there, and we will be live whenever that game goes live. Until then, assume rain because everyone else here is assuming rain. So after a measly half an inning, I am signing off for my broadcast partner, Danny LaRose, and my producer, Jamie Miller. I'm David Korzanowski, saying a defeated so long and farewell from Spillane Field. We will hopefully see you soon, but most likely see you tomorrow night back at home.